Hey guys, in today's video we're going to talk about, is this a $100,000 a year skill? And when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about a concrete finisher's skill, the types of skills that a concrete finisher needs in order to make really good money doing concrete. Now again, I'm going to be talking about what my knowledge is, what my experience is, being a concrete business owner, being from Maine. I realize that all over the country there's going to be different wages. You're going to pay a concrete finisher much differently, say like in New York, than we would pay here in Maine. And I'm just assuming that. And then, if you're a union worker, your wages are going to be much different than if you're a non-union worker. Now, I don't have any experience with union wages, so if some of you guys that are watching this are in a union, you want to share what maybe a concrete finisher's wage would be versus a concrete laborer down in the comments, that would be fantastic if you could do that. Maybe, share how it might be a little bit different than being a non-union worker. So in Maine, the concrete finishers, like I consider Darren and Luke concrete finishers. They're very highly skilled. They can literally do everything from doing a laborer's job. Like, this is what I consider a laborer's job right here, kind of pulling the concrete around, kind of getting it leveled out. Very basic skills needed for this, very basic knowledge needed to be able to do something like this. This is typically what a concrete laborer would do, and we have laborers that just work for us. Usually it's in the summer season, but as far as Luke and Darren and me, we're full-fledged concrete finishers. So we can go from, prepping a job, setting a job up, shooting grades with a laser, making sure all the slopes are correct, to pouring the concrete like this, to floating out edges, to screeding, to power troweling, to doing broom finishes, to doing stamped concrete. There's a ton of skills required really in order to be a very good concrete finisher, and those skills make you very, very valuable, especially across the country. There's a big need for concrete finishers. So if there's a way that you can learn the skills it takes to be a concrete finisher, then you're going to make yourself very valuable no matter where you live. Now, what we're doing today is we're pouring a 30 by 28 garage floor, and this garage floor slopes. So the skills needed as far as a concrete finisher goes for something like this is, the basic skills are, kind of what Darren and Luke are doing. They're raking out the concrete. They're getting it as level as they can to grade. We snapped a chalk line around the outside perimeter to go by. The floor slopes 2 inches from the back of the wall to the front where the garage doors are. We use a laser level to set the middle grades. There's all kinds of ways you can set middle grades on this. You could use a pin if you want. We're just going to wet shoot a grade. You can see me do that here in a second. And then the screeding, you're going to see I really highlighted the screeding on this. There's a bunch of different ways you can screed concrete. We were taught a couple ways, and we're going to do it the old-fashioned way here. You're going to see just how fast that is, but that is a highly sought-after concrete finisher skill, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. But being able to screed concrete's one thing, but being able to screed it really accurately and doing it fast is a whole different ball game. And you're going to see just how smoothly that goes here in a second. And that right there, that one skill itself, being really accurate, being really fast, knowing exactly what to look for if something just doesn't look right, and getting it down so you can get this concrete down as quick as you can. That one skill, knowing how to screed concrete, could be super valuable to you if you can learn that. And I do teach that stuff in the Concrete Underground. So if you want to look down in the notes below in the show more section of the video, and you see the Concrete Underground there, all my training videos are in there. If you want to start to learn how to be a concrete finisher, that's probably your best place to start right there. And then your second best place is maybe coming to work for somebody like me, and just, someone that's willing to teach you the ropes is going to help make you even more valuable, because hands-on is really the best way to learn how to do concrete. So Darren's running the chute like that. Again, knowing we have a lot of rear dump trucks here, and we have a few front dumps, but not many. So a lot of trucks are rear dump. Being able to know how fast to get that concrete to come out of the chute, how fast or slow to move the chute along without getting it too high or too low. That all takes experience. And when I'm talking about experience, and again, a concrete finisher's type of experience, and then raking the concrete behind the chute and getting it almost perfect, which is what Luke is doing. Now, I mean, not everybody can do that. That's a skill that's learned too over time. Like I could hand that concrete rake to anybody, just anybody off the street, and they can come in here and they can move that concrete around, but they have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea how high or low it's going to take. They have no idea that Luke's making that look 10 times easier than it really is. And they don't know what to look for. So yes, anybody could rake concrete, but knowing how to rake it properly is a whole different ball game. And that takes, a few weeks of experience working with someone like, Luke or Darren or myself, to know the ins and outs of just how to rake it around, how to move it around without hurting yourself, without wasting time, and doing it as quickly as possible so you can get this concrete floor poured. All right, so here's what I consider kind of between an experienced laborer and a finisher skill is mag floating the edges to grade. I mean, that's the level of the floor. You cannot screw that up. So that's really important to be able to mag float the edges right to the chalk line and get them perfect. We're very fussy about that when we do that. So when we're teaching somebody that and somebody new, you can tell there's a big difference between somebody that's new that's doing it or somebody that's very experienced. Now here's your $100,000 a year skill right here, being able to screed concrete. That's a 14-foot screed. A lot of guys do that by themselves. A lot of guys do it standing up. We do it this way with 2 guys on the screed, and you can see how smooth that goes. So there's an area of about 14 by 14 that Luke and Darren just screeded in about 20 or 30 seconds. Now, I don't think it can really get much faster than that, whether you're using a vibrating screed, a stand-up screed, or you're screeding it like we are. It just doesn't really get any faster. And it's not just about speed either. It's really about accuracy, right? This floor is sloped. So where they started on the back wall to where they finish up here in the middle of the floor slopes an inch. And you can't have a dip, you can't have a hump. It's gotta be a nice even slope on that floor. So when they do get water in there in the garage, it's gonna run towards the garage doors. It's just not gonna puddle up. So again, super highly rated skill there as far as I'm concerned. If you can learn how to screed concrete like that, I mean, you can work for me any day. Now, what I might do a little differently than others is, like my 2 top guys there, Darren and Luke, I pay them a salary. So they make a really, really high wage for a salary. And again, we're living in Maine, so, I mean, their wages, although we consider them really high here in Maine, definitely probably double the national average as far as wages go for a salary. But then on top of that, we'll have other jobs that they'll make bonuses on. So whether we do like a stamp concrete job or maybe an epoxy floor coating, something that requires a little more like skill or decorative stuff, like they'll make bonuses on top of their salary. So not only do they make a really high salary, but depending on the type of work we do, they can make some big bonuses on some decorative jobs that we might do. And they both do. For me now, they've learned so much about concrete that they can do estimates now. They go out and look at jobs and check them out, and then they can decide like how much to charge for that job based on what it's going to take, whether it's a concrete slab or simple. We call these kind of simple garage floors when they're inside frost walls like this. The prep work, but mostly, they're pricing stuff like stamped concrete, like epoxy coatings on floors, barn slabs, basic stuff that people call us to do from all over the state. And then we have our regular, we're working for what we call a regular contractor here. We're actually working for the foundation contractor. So the foundation contractor on a job like this, he bids the job with the builder or whoever the general contractor is. It just happens to be the builder on this job. So the foundation contractor sends him the estimate. The builder hires the foundation guy. The foundation guy includes the concrete floors in his bid. and then when they win the job, they just sub the floors out to us. We have a set price, a square foot price that we work for when we have these regular contractors that we work for all the time. So that makes things pretty simple. And then, you know, they just get all these jobs like this and they just send us the jobs. They don't have to ask us for prices anymore because they already know what we charge. And we'll do, you know, a couple hundred jobs like this a year based on that. So that makes that gives us a pretty good idea of just how much work we're going to do for regular contractors every single year. And then on top of that, you know, we can kind of pick and choose the jobs where, you know, people might call us individually or contact us through the website on the Crete quote form. And we can kind of pick and choose that way just what kind of jobs we want to do above and beyond these types of jobs right here. So again, you know, if you want to earn a very high wage, you've got to be able to learn how to be a concrete finisher, in my opinion. Learn the skills it takes. Learn how to be able to screed concrete, no matter who you're working for, however they screed. Like, take on the responsibility of learning how to do that. Learn how to be able to set grades, what it means to be able to set grades, how to set them right, things to look for that might look out of place, that might not look quite right as far as the subgrade goes. And then, you know, in our cases, like finishing, we're going to have some power. Like, we're actually pouring 2 floors here today, 2 garage floors, although I only have 1 on this video. Learn how to finish concrete by hand. Learn how to mag float concrete. Learn how to steel trowel concrete. Learn the timing of when to finish concrete. The timing is a big deal. It's different every single day depending on just what you're doing, what the weather is, if the wind's blowing, if it's 50 degrees or if it's 90 degrees. It's always a little different. Those skills in itself are very valuable. And then power troweling. I mean, we power trowel most our stuff with walk behind power trowels because we don't do the big commercial stuff anymore. I was brought up on commercial stuff. I did that for years and years. They didn't even have ride-on power trowels when I was doing commercial stuff. So we would, you know, we'd finish 20,000 square feet of concrete floors with all walk behinds and always short-handed. But learn how to finish concrete. And I have those trainings too, power trowel trainings in the Concrete Underground if you want to learn that. This right here is what I consider a very basic finisher skill, knowing how to bull float, but it is very important. Getting the bull float floor bull floated and doing it correctly is going to help make the finishing process a heck of a lot easier, in my opinion. And then there's a way to bull float concrete based on how you screed. Usually you can, if you can reach, like you want to bull float 90 at a 90 degree angle to what you screeded the concrete at. Sometimes you can't do that because you don't have access to that. But if you screed the concrete right, if you get it down, if you get it nice and level and you get it flat, then you can bull float just about any way you want. So again, let me know what you guys think about concrete finishers' wages. Maybe you could chime in about what state you live in. Just give me a rough average about what a concrete finisher might make in your state. Again, I live in Maine. You know, finishers' wages probably start at $30 an hour. They might go to 40-ish, maybe even up to 50, depending on if that concrete finisher is like a foreman or a superintendent or something like that. But I would say, yeah, in between 30 and 50 here for concrete finishers in the state of Maine would be something you'd be looking at. And then, you know, we have company vehicles, so you don't have to take your vehicle to the job. Everybody jumps in a company vehicle at the shop, and we drive in a company vehicle to the shop. So that's, you know, I don't know what it's like where you guys are. Maybe you guys could send your thoughts on that. But I've always been like that. I didn't want the guys driving their personal vehicles to the job site if they didn't have to, because a lot of job sites we work on like this one has all kinds of room, but a lot of job sites we work on have very little room. So again, here's the other floor we're pouring here today. Concrete's all showing up, ready to go. Luke's over here. He's getting it started. So $100,000 concrete skill guy, learn how to screed concrete and be a concrete finisher. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks a lot. 8 feet on that other side, that far side will be broom finish.